always get so awkward the second I turn on the camera. Hey everyone, it's me, Kara. I'm back with another video. This is probably gonna be the last video you have with me with this background because I am moving. And I decided to film this video the week that I am to move into my boyfriend's house. So I'm filming this before I start actually reading the books because, you know, this is my last opportunity to film in front of this beautiful window with this natural light. And also because I feel like things are going to get a little bit hectic. I apologize if you can hear a large amount of cicada noise and or my air conditioner shutting off and shutting back on again. I don't know what's wrong with the air conditioner, but it's right outside my window, so what can you do? So today's video, as I'm sure you have learned by now from the title, we are going to be reading TikTok books this week. This has been a video that I have wanted to do for the longest time, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. I don't know why I chose May to be the month that I filmed this video. I don't know. Sometimes I plan things too far in advance and then I don't actually want to film them when it comes around to that time. This is not one of those times, but I feel like it got pushed from another time. So regardless, this is what you're getting in terms of content right now, okay? So what I have decided to do is I have chosen 4 books that I have seen all over the internet, not just BookTok, but mostly BookTok has contributed to their rise to fame and their longevity on the bestsellers list. So that is why I have chosen these titles that I'm about to discuss with you. And throughout this video, we are going to be reading the books and I'm going to give you my thoughts on them, if they're worth the hype, you know, should you trust BookTok or, you know, book social media in general. I say that as a booktuber who is indeed engaging in social media content creation around books, but you know, I feel like YouTube is one of the lesser evils of the internet in many ways, but we won't get into that right now. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just reading books that TikTok made super popular and that I haven't read yet, obviously. And I'm really excited because some of these are actually the 3 that I'm about to show you, I'm really excited about. And then the last one that I don't actually have a physical copy of, I'm not as excited about, but I just felt like it was appropriate to put in this video because I couldn't really think of another one. And also I really wanted to see what the hype is about with this one for the longest time. Okay, like I said, I chose all of these books because they are super popular on TikTok. Not necessarily ones that I wouldn't read, but for example, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I haven't really thought that much about picking up until I decided to make this video, or really committed to making this video. And I was thinking about what books I wanted to include, and this had to be one of them because this is without a doubt probably one of the most popular books on TikTok that I have not read yet. Yeah, because I actually have read a lot of TikTok books before, but that was before I started this channel. So we're going with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for our first book. Well, I don't know if I'm going to read it first, but you know, this is one of the books that we're going to tackle this week. I think I'm going to just mood read this week because I don't want to create too stringent of a schedule that I'm not going to follow because I'm moving. So, you know, I'm moving, and also my boyfriend is leaving next week to go on a trip for 5 weeks to Zambia. So yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a hectic week and I'm going to need some control over what choices I can make. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I really don't think any of these books need preamble, but what I am going to say about it is it previously did not appeal to me and now it does because literally everybody on social media loves this book. And I want to know what the hype is about, okay? Next up, an M. Beach read. I have already read People We Meet on Vacation, and I am feeling so much FOMO right now that I haven't read Funny Story or Happy Place, or really frankly, the rest of Emily Henry's backlist. So I picked Beach Read for this book because Beach Read and Book Lovers are kind of interchangeably TikTok famous, if you ask me. Book Lovers might be the even more popular one, but I want to read this one because I wanted to read this one to start with, and then I read People We Meet on Vacation instead as my first Emily Henry. So I'm going to read this one because it's still very popular on TikTok and I'm really excited. Then I'm going to read the book that I don't have with me right now, which is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This is probably the one I'm least excited about reading because I don't really care that much. I don't know. I think I don't care that much if I love or hate it. I kind of feel like I'm going to hate it. If I love it, that would be really great, like the icing on the cake, you know? But I also kind of want to just like see what everyone is so obsessed with and or making fun of so much. I have watched Newly Nova's video on Twisted Love, and I am a little bit scared because I feel like I share a lot of opinions with Lexi, but I don't know. It's for the video. It's for the gram, for the Ute. Let's make that a phrase, y'all. For the Ute. Okay, the last book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog, and the one I am by far the most anticipating, is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I know, finally, I have not read this book yet, and I'm finally getting to it, and I'm so excited. Y'all, I have been wanting to read this book for literally ever, for years, and I don't know, I never like had the urge to pick, like I always knew I wanted to read this, but I've never actually had like put my hands on it and been like, let's check this book out, you know? And now I finally am. So this does have a lot of hype surrounding it, and I think for good reason. And this has a lot to live up to. So if I'm disappointed, you're gonna see me rage, okay? But you know what? I have a really good arsenal of books here that I'm super excited for, and all of these are pretty hyped, anticipated books that I feel like I'm gonna have a good time reading regardless. We'll see about Twisted Love. But I think this is gonna be a good week, and I'm so excited to see what happens. And I'm excited to see which one I start first, because I'm not starting them yet today because I already have a couple books I have to finish first before I actually start reading for this video. But I just wanted to introduce them to you because, like I said, I'm moving out of this space in like 2 days, and I just wanted to give you a proper goodbye from my window perch. So, yep. Say goodbye to the little room. That's my window and my air conditioning unit right out there. There's actually 2 of them because he didn't take the old one when he replaced it. And this is my room. Oh my god, I'm a tripod. Alright, I'm gonna update you when I pick my first book. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully Monday, because Lord knows I don't need to get a late start to this video. So, I'll see that. So this is one of those, okay, I think I've kind of decided that I want to read Twisted Love first, because if it's bad, I can get this out of the way, and then the other books, I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna find a good one out of those, you know? Worst first, save the best for last, you know? So I just opened it up, and this is one of those books that has like a playlist along with it, and I feel like I kind of want to listen to the playlist. I'm in my playlist now. little update today before I go into work. I am currently reading Twisted Love right now, and that was the book that I decided to go with first because I was kind of worried that I wasn't gonna like it as much as the other 3 books that I picked. So I kind of thought, you know, like, let's get the worst done first, okay? I'm currently 30% of the way into the book right now. And at first I picked it up on, like, I had a digital copy of it on my iPad, but then I realized that Hoopla also had the audiobook version, so I started listening to that. And y'all, there's 2 narrators, one for the male main character and one for the female main character. And first of all, I didn't actually, like, I know that Anna Huang is Asian. I think she's Chinese. I didn't put together that, like, the main character was Chinese too, which is pretty cool because it's AAPI month and I just inadvertently chose another AAPI author to read. But the male main character, he's supposed to be like this big, macho, deep-voiced Ukrainian man, and the voice actor for him is, like, he's got, like, the deepest voice I've ever heard. So that's been kind of fun. The plot is pretty silly to me. It's very Wattpad, like fanfic, because basically what's happening is we have Ava, who's the female main character. She's 21 years old, okay? She lives next door to her brother, who's 25, in a college town where she went to college, okay? Her brother is a medical student and he's going abroad for a year to do medical volunteer work. And his best friend is enlisted by the brother to, like, keep an eye on Ava because, I don't know, it's like just kind of misogynistically insinuated that 21-year-old Ava cannot look after herself, even though right off the bat we already see that she's kind of a stubborn and independent character. But I guess her brother's just protective, and that's just kind of brushed off as how it is. But I'm 21 years old and I'm pretty fucking self-sufficient. Like, my boyfriend's about to leave for a trip for 5 weeks and I'm gonna be on my own, and nope, I don't care about that, you know? I don't know, I just think it's a little bit, what are we doing, you know? And then the male main character so far is just so unnecessarily overbearing about everything that Ava does for no reason. Like, literally all her brother said was just, like, keep an eye on her, make sure she's okay, because she just went through a breakup and, like, whatever. Not, like, be her bodyguard. I don't get why he cares so much, you know? And clearly this man has some trauma, and so does she, but, like, he just manifests it more blatantly in the way that he is, and, like, he's very brusque and very just, like, and super intense. Like, I don't even really know. There's some backstory going on about, like, I don't know, I'm getting, like, mafia vibes almost, although I don't think that's what this is. Something happened with his family and he's, like, just really imposing because of it. And I think he has some type of, like, Ukrainian mafia involvement. I have no idea what's going on. And Ava also went through some trauma. We're learning that she has, like, this fear of drowning. So, yeah, so far it's full of sexual innuendos. She's already touched his dick. I'm literally 30% of the way through. And right now they're trying to, like, do this sneaky, like, her and her friends are trying to do this sneaky thing where they try to, like, get him to express emotions because he's so robotic and just puts on this front that he doesn't care about anything. And, you know, I can already tell that this is gonna go south, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I will give you an update later. It's kind of crazy how fast I'm getting through this book. I don't know. It's not, like, terrible writing. The writing's actually fine. And pretty funny at times too, but I don't know. The plot is just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, but I've been talking for too long. So I'm just gonna go and I'll update you when I have more thoughts to share. 60% of the way through Twisted Love now. And I just want to say my feelings have somewhat intensified and also not changed since the last time I talked to you. Xena. I don't know what you want me to do. We live, this is our backyard, and right behind our backyard is a Kinetic, like cable company office, and they have trucks back there, and they're getting in the trucks and going to work, so she's barking at them. Anyway, Alex Volkov is a bad person. I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole. And I do think less of Ava that she fell for that. Like, just as characters, they're so caricatured. I guess that, I don't know. I think that's the best way to describe it. Like, they're just so overwritten, but like not in a good way. Like, not in a way where you actually get to know them at all. It's just like, Alex is this evil mastermind, but he's like the good guy, but he's like a tough bad guy, and he has no emotions, and he's a misogynist, and he treats Ava pretty poorly and like super defensively, and that is not hot, okay? I don't like that. If you do, that is your prerogative, but that's not me, okay? And Ava, I just think she's like, there's nothing interesting about her. Literally, like, all of her other friends, she's explaining, they all get books too. And literally, like, one of her friends is a princess. She's another friend who's like this bombshell who apparently looks just like Jessica Rabbit. And then another friend she has is an Instagram baddie who has like 400 or 800,000 followers, like she's an influencer. But Ava, she's just a girl who likes to do photography, and she works in an art gallery, and she can't swim because she has trauma with water. Like, she's just, I mean, nothing against any of those things, you know, she's just a normal girl. I don't know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And there's like this plot twist happening right now where we're questioning Alex's intentions, and I like, that whole part of the story would work, but the rest of the plot that it connects to is so unnecessary. Like, we didn't need to have that in this romance book. I can't really get into it about what the plot is about, but I don't know, I'm not enjoying it. It's really taking me out of like the romance, and I didn't think the romance was that good anyway, so I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed about like the ending of this book. Either way, I'm gonna be disappointed, because unless Ava decides that she's better than Alex and Alex is not good for her and she's gonna move on, but I really don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm being dramatic, but yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I will update you when I'm finished. It probably won't be this morning because I have to go to work soon, but it will be today because I need to finish this book. So, all right, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Sorry about the background noise. I have the fan going because it is blazing hot in my house right now. But I just finished Twisted Love, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be done. Oh, I'm happy to be done. 2 stars at most. It just got worse. I mean, yeah, nothing about the plot after, you know, all of this additional stuff that was added in really started to make sense. I mean, like, it's reaching, like, you know, you have to suspend your disbelief. I don't know, it was like just too much in a bad way, and Alex just kept being overbearing and toxic, and I just didn't like that, and I really, bottom line, I didn't like Ava and Alex together. I did not think they were right for each other. I think their relationship is codependent and toxic, And like the way that they speak to each other sometimes, and like the way that Alex is so controlling over her and literally has to have his watchful gaze over every part of her life is such an ick for me. I could not get into it. So yeah, bottom line, didn't enjoy it very much. I will say it was entertaining, like entertainingly bad. So that's why I think I'm gonna give it 2 stars instead of 1. It wasn't like the most horrible book I've ever read. The plot was bad, the characters were bad, the writing was okay. But that being said, I am a little bit intrigued about this next book that has the princess and the bodyguard. So who knows? I might read that in the future, but do you think I should? I don't know. I really didn't enjoy this one very much. And I'm glad I got it out of the way first because, yeah, I'm hoping to avoid a reading slump by reading this one first. So, yeah. Next up, I think I'm gonna pick up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Because I don't know if I'm gonna like this one. I feel like I might, but I've never really read a lot of YA murder mystery before, so we shall see. But this book is huge on social media, so I would be remiss if I did not include it in this video. So we're gonna read this one next. All right, and I will see you when I start it. Because I have to update the vlog.
Is Zena gonna be in there?
Well, I guess.
Is there Chanel gonna be in there? Look at Zena.
Maybe. So this is what I'm reading right now.
That's the book she's reading right now.
It's called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think we've already talked about this.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Well, I don't know yet. I'm 68 pages in, so that's like, I don't know. What would you say? A fifth? However far I am into the book. Okay, so we're 68 pages in. So far, I think I get what this is about. You probably already know what this is about. It's a very popular book. Basically, a high schooler is investigating a murder that happened in her town 5 years prior. And she's doing this for a school project, which I'm kind of like, what school would let you investigate a murder for your school project? I don't know. That's a little weird. So far, beyond that, we're just kind of like getting into the background of what happened. And she's trying to interview people who may have been around or like knew what happened that night that this girl went missing. And now the brother of the person who everyone thinks murdered the girl is like, hey, I want to help you figure this out so we can maybe clear his name or just figure out what happened. And that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm already kind of picking up some threads of like where the plot could be going. But at this point, I haven't even met all the characters yet or heard all the backstory. So I don't know like where it's gonna go. But I'm hoping that I'm gonna be surprised and not like completely predict what the plot twist is or where it's gonna go. Because so far, the plot and the story is like keeping me engaged enough to, you know, furrow my brow a little bit. So I think there's some potential here. And I'm gonna keep reading today. It's a very beautiful, nice day. Great day to read a book about murder, if I do say so myself. And yeah, that's my update for right now. And Zena is here to say, chew on. I'm here with Zena. Can you shake my paw? I'm here with Zena and we are gonna talk about my thoughts thus far. Spoiler alert, I don't really have many. I'm only like 40% of the way through. I'm on page 162, chapter 18. And I did decide that I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up on audio. I found it on Spotify, so I'm gonna start listening to that because I really want to color right now. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna see if it starts to get interesting, because so far it has really just been a lot of speculation, and not, I feel like we're not really getting anywhere yet, which is understandable because we haven't passed the 50% mark yet, but I'm hoping that when we do, it gets a little bit more juicy. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say. I'm gonna listen to it on audio now, and I think it has a full cast, so that should be pretty fun. I probably should have been listening to it on audio from the get-go, but I don't know. I listened to the last book on audio too, so I kind of feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to actually do some reading in this video too. But anyway, that's what I'm feeling like today. So I am now 75% complete with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and something just happened that is not okay. It's not okay, Matthew. I'm really upset. I'm actually really upset right now. Like, it's a pretty cheap plot device, if you ask me. And I also saw it coming, so I can't say what it is, obviously, but I'm just kind of shook right now. I might need to put it down for a second. No? You think I have to finish?
I said, oh no. Shiver me Tim.
Matthew is over here clipping his nails and making commentary. Anyway, I do really want to finish it though, because I want to actually find out what happens, but I'm so pissed right now. I finished my book. I finished my book. I finished my book.
You finished your book?
More out of pure determination than anything.
Yeah.
It was okay. I started getting really frustrated, and there were some plot twists that I did not really like. And then I felt like the ending, like what actually ended up happening, was really convoluted. Like, it was almost too much going on to be satisfying, which sucks because, like, generally the ending is pretty good, and I feel like, you know, people got what they deserved, good and bad. There were definitely like some things that I thought were like a little bit plot holey, and I feel like the characters, especially like Pippa and Ravi, just kind of like would really jump the gun sometimes and make these pretty wild conclusions. But at the end of the day, they are supposed to be teenagers. So if anything, Holly Jackson did a pretty good job of like writing a teenager's mindset when it comes to that type of thing. Overall, I give it 3 stars because, like I said, I just really wasn't like feeling satisfied like I wanted to be. And the story just left some things lacking to me. Like, I feel like it could have been a little bit more nuanced, you know? But it was pretty entertaining, and I did finish it in pretty much like one day. So that's good, you know? I like, middle of the road, 3 stars, I feel like it's pretty good. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever like go on with this series, but it's encouraging to me that I liked it better than Twisted Love. And I'm glad I read it now because, you know, it is such a widely loved book in our community. And I guess, I mean, did it live up to the hype? For me personally, not really, but like, it was a good read, you know? It was a fun time. So yeah, I'm about to set up our TV so we can watch a movie, That's why I'm standing here in the darkness like this, kind of. So I'm gonna go. It's Matthew's last night here, so we're gonna watch a movie and hang out. And then I gotta send him off tomorrow for his trip. And hopefully I will get some more reading done, and I'll talk to you soon. Wow. You see that, Zena? See them. Wow. They look like they're just lighting up the night. Wow. Today is Memorial Day, and today is also the day that Matthew leaves for 5 weeks. He is going on a school trip to Zambia, and I'm super excited for him, but you know, I just moved into his house and now he's gonna be gone for 5 weeks, so I feel like I'm gonna be a little bit sad today. I'm gonna read Beach Read as my next book for this challenge. I feel like this is really going to lift my spirits, and this is a book that I have been highly anticipating for a long time, obviously. Emily Henry. I really want to read Beach Read and Book Lovers soon, so that I can read Happy Place and Funny Story. I have already read People We Meet on Vacation. I read that in another video. I think I already mentioned that sometime in this video. But yeah, so I also really just feel like I need a beachy escape, because like I said, it's Memorial Day and it's kind of like gloomy and rainy outside, and also I don't get to go to the beach or the water or anything like that this summer, which kind of sucks, but maybe I can live vicariously through January and Gus as they are at the beach in Michigan, I think. So I'm excited. I hope this is everything that I'm dreaming of and more. Like I have really high hopes for this book, so I hope I'm not disappointed. And then after this one, we will move on to Addie's Oreos. So, okay, I'm gonna get reading now. Get reading. I hope I don't get too sad. I just want to take a little moment to say, I don't know if I would read the literary fiction novel that January is writing, because, not to spoil anything, okay, as I always say, but it's a historical fiction, and I feel like, I don't know, it's just kind of a random historic time in a random setting that she's doing. And this is like such a minor detail that probably isn't gonna affect much of the rest of the book in a huge way, but I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in there because let me know what you think, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so right now something is happening in the book where I feel like it might turn into a trope that I hate. Zena. Zena, stop. Come here. Anyway, there is something happening where I guess Gus and January are like there's not miscommunication yet, Are you fucking kidding me right now? Zena. Okay. Well, anyway, all I was gonna say is just there's something happening, like January finds something out about Gus and then she just like silently stews about it and never brings it up and doesn't like, she's expecting him to like bare his soul to her like she has to him, but she doesn't really like communicate that. So I think you can see where we're going with this. And I don't know, I might be misunderstanding, like she's definitely just overthinking it. And like I would do that. Like she is me. She's very relatable in that way, you know? But also when something is bothering me, stop. When something is bothering me, I will ask the other person about it until my worries are satiated. Please stop squeaking. She's so cute. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried that we're gonna have some miscommunication. I'm nervous. So I'm like less than 100 pages away from finishing, and I don't know, I was just sitting here braiding my hair and I was like thinking about it, and I just wanted to tell you what I was thinking. So basically I feel like what I'm experiencing is that I really like the way Emily Henry writes characters. I just don't necessarily think that Gus and January are right for each other. Like, unfortunately, their chemistry is not enough to convince me that they belong together. You know, I just don't really know that their values align, but then again, we haven't learned quite enough about, like, Gus hasn't, revealed all of his layers, and I think January has some things she needs to work on too. They're complex characters though, which I really enjoy, and I love the dialogue that Emily Henry writes for the most part. There are some things that I felt the same way about her last book. There are some things that I think are a little bit cheesy, and like unnecessary, and just like make the characters a little bit unbelievable, I guess. But you know, it's a romance novel, so there has to be a certain level of cheese, you know, and comedy and comedic relief, right? But I think Emily Henry does a really great job of balancing like that the real life raw emotions and also just like funny storylines and funny like relief. I don't know. Another thing that I'm a little bit confused about, and obviously I'm not finished with the book yet, so I don't know like if this is gonna be make more sense to me. Sorry, Zena's playing with her ball. I don't really get the whole like if you don't want to be spoiled at all, like it's not really a spoiler because it's kind of on the dust jacket or the back cover of the book. But just skip past this part real like a minute. I don't really get the the like subplot of Gus is investigating this cult. And he like brings January along with him because that's part of their deal that they, you know, are writing each other's genre. So January's supposed to be writing literary fiction, and Gus was going to write a lit fic about like based on this cult that he's studying. And so they like he takes them on excursions to like interview members of the cult and like go to the site of where it was and like all this stuff. And I just don't like, I'm not really sure what his motive for doing that is. I don't know. I just find it a little bit weird. Like it's like an interesting addition to the plot, but I just don't really know that it makes much sense because this book is called Beach Read, by the way, and there's like zero beach. They've been to the beach once, which is a little disappointing because I need some beaching in my life right now, okay? I'm in the middle of Georgia, in the middle of nowhere. It's hot as hell, but we ain't got no beach here, so yeah. Anyway, that's what I think about right now. I don't know if that, I don't know. I obviously I haven't fully formed my opinion on this book yet, and I really want to love it because everybody loves this book. So I want to love Emily Henry, and I do like her writing. It's just not, I don't know, it's just so different from what I thought it was going to be, I guess. Really. So I'm going to go now before Zena starts squealing at me to get her ball. And then I'm probably going to read for about an hour, and then we're going to go on a walk. So I'll talk to you later. Hopefully I can finish this freaking book tonight. Y'all, I do not feel good right now. I'm going to take my braid out because I have had like a headache. At this point it's a migraine. But I started getting a headache yesterday, and it just feels like my brain is on fire. I'm here to wrap up Beach Read with you. As far as how I feel about the book right now, I'm really not sure how my review of this book is going to stand up over time. Like, I feel like this is one of those things where I am not gonna know exactly how I feel about it until I gauge how much I think about it after I read it. Like, for example, I just read the Paris novel by Ruth Reichel, and I give it a 4 because I enjoyed reading it a lot, and then I just kept thinking about it. So I think I enjoyed it a lot. Like, it was probably one of my favorite books I read this month. Even though, like, at the time of finishing it, I didn't know that. I feel similarly about this book. I don't want to say I'm disappointed about what we got in here, but I think the biggest thing for me is this book is called Beach Read, and there's like literally one beach scene in the entire thing, and that's fine. I just wish, I think Emily Henry at this point in her writing career, I haven't read any of her other books. I've read People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read. I think at this point, her atmosphere writing skills are not so great. Like, that's something that I was missing a lot in the book. However, the characterization of both of the characters, the exploration of them as characters, the complexity of what's going on in their lives, their dialogue, like all of that stuff, I felt like that was really well done. And I also like the way, I don't know, I feel like Emily Henry pretty seamlessly transitions from rom-com-y, light and fun to like super introspective and evocative and emotional writing, which I like. And I also want to say that I really related to January's character. Like, her inner monologue seems very similar to some things that I, am telling myself all the time, especially when it comes to like, falling in love, being worthy of love, having these hang-ups based on your family and like not really knowing what to do because you can't trust your examples and like all of that stuff. So yeah, overall I ended up giving it 4 stars. I'm still not really 100% sure about that rating yet. Like, I think what's gonna have to happen is that I'm gonna have to read Emily Henry's other books and then like rank them, because I don't know, so I feel like her books are kind of a category all on their own. Like, it's a quintessential book lover, book content creators, like little, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word for like a little miniature version of a world? Microcosm? I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I liked it. I thought, I mentioned earlier that I kind of thought that I wasn't sure that Gus and January were right for each other. And there is something that happens at the very end of the book. I think my toilet just started running. Okay, turns out it was just my ceiling fan. I've never heard it make that noise before, but anyway. Lena found a ball under the bed. Let me be quick. I liked it. I think I still need a little bit more time to think about it. That's all I'm saying here. And I really appreciate that Emily Henry's stop. I really appreciate that Emily Henry's books are kind of like their own thing. Like, it's not really like a cut and paste rom-com situation. There's a lot more depth to it. So yeah, I really liked it. I think it was good. I may have liked it more if I read it on the beach. I don't know. Can you please stop? I think it's time to end this clip here. So I'm gonna talk to you later. Stop. I did already start reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have the book, it's in there. But I also was able to get the audiobook on Libby, and Julia Whalen narrates the audiobook. What are you regurgitating? So far the audiobook is really good. I'm 20% in. I don't really have much to say about it right now, but oh my God, why are there so many holes in my clothes? All right, I'm gonna talk to you later. So, let's see if I can set you up like right here and we can talk for a second. So I am about 30-something% of the way through Addie LaRue right now. And so far, it's really good. It's really good. And I'm happy about it because it's like been a really anticipated read of mine. Say hi. So, anyway, I'm mostly listening to it on audio because I think I mentioned earlier, I was able to snag a Libby audiobook of it, and Julia Whalen narrates it, so it's really good. I also have the hardback, and I feel like I might finish it. I don't know. I think I probably won't finish it today. It's really good. If you don't know what Addie LaRue is about, I suggest just going on TikTok. This book is about a French girl at the, I think it's the end of the 17th century. And she has this very creative mind, and she loves to draw, and she dreams of traveling, and she like dreams up all these things and all this stuff, and she just has this free spirit. And when she's around 23, she's like, you know, you got to get married. So she's like being forced to get married, and she really doesn't want to. And so she ends up like running away into the woods at night and making a bargain with the devil, basically. And the bargain, we kind of find out about it, like up until this point, kind of what the terms are, what it means. Basically, everyone who ever meets her forgets her. So she has this kind of like, what is the word I'm looking for? Is it ephemeral? I feel like it is. Hold on. I think that's the word, but I'm just gonna double check and make sure. I don't know. Anyway, she just has this very like, you know, this life where she's never able to like find a place to live, get a job, make relationships. Like, it's very hard for her to just go through life because everyone's always forgetting her. And it's very lonely, and you know, she's coming to terms with that. And we find out that she ends up living for a really long time because it's kind of split timelines. So we go back and forth between when she first makes the deal and then like present day, which happens to be in 2014. And right now it's going back and forth between Paris and New York City. I hope that we see some other cities because there's been some allusions to like a bunch of other cities that Addie's visited before, which would be really cool. And I'm really enjoying that kind of like time travel. I love books about time travel or like a storyline that has that element of like this really interesting, otherworldly kind of influence going on with that. So yeah, that's been really enjoyable. And then I feel like Addie is a very stubborn character, but she also has a lot of layers, and I'm pretty sure she's bisexual, which is cool. And then there's another character in the book that she meets in present day who, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the synopsis, but basically the character that she meets in present day remembers her, and it's like this huge pivotal point. And I've just kind of got to that point, and now, you know, we don't really know what's going to happen next. And I think that character might be bisexual too. I don't really know what's going on, but I think that's pretty cool because it just makes it, B.E. Schwab has this way of like making that very normalized in this world. I feel like it's not really like a big thing, which I love as a bisexual person. I love seeing that representation that way. And then the last thing that just happened was we kind of found out more about this devil character. Addie gives him a name, and we find out throughout the book that she kind of dreamt up this like dream man, and he takes the form of that to like mock her. And they have this kind of like rivalry going on because he's trying to take her soul, and she's like, nah, let me live my life. Like, I know I fucked up, but I'm not gonna let you take it that easily, you know? So I'm interested to see if there's gonna be kind of like a thing going on with them, because there seems like there's this tension that I'm really interested in. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far, and I think V.E. Schwab's writing is phenomenal, and Julia Whelan's narration is phenomenal. So I'm having a really good time, and I probably will finish this pretty quickly, and I hope I do. But yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and like talk about it a little bit, and then hopefully some good stuff happens and I continue to love it, because I really need another win, because I feel like I've been reading a lot of books lately that have just been kind of like okay. Like Beach Read was good. I just finished that, you know, we just talked about that. And I've read a couple other books this month that were great too, but like I haven't had a 5-star in a while, and I feel like this is a 5-star prediction for me. So I have high hopes, and so far it's tracking. So yeah, I'm gonna go probably eat some dinner, and I will talk to you later. It's getting to the point of the hot girl summer where literally the only thing in my head right now is just Chappell Roan songs on repeat. That's just the default mode now. This has nothing to do with the video, but I just can't. That is the reality of my existence right now. Every time I turn the camera on, she like knows. But she's sleeping next to me, and I don't want to wake her up. But anyway, I just wanted to say a little update right now. I don't know, like 60-something% of the way through Addie LaRue right now, and I'm continuing to love it. And I just want to say that, like, I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't think it is. I don't want to give away too much of the plot by saying this, but I just want to mention that the other character that Addie meets, you know, who remembers her he also has this kind of thing going on. Like, we get to know a lot about his character as well. And I won't give away what that is or, like, what it means for the plot or whatever, because it's a pretty big part of it, which I wasn't expecting. But I really like his character, and I like what is happening through his perspective that's adding to the story, because his relationship with Addie is, like, also a very big part of the story. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I think V.E. Schwab is kind of a genius, and I'm really interested to see how it all comes together. And I hope they have a happy ending, but I'm hopeful, but I'm not, like, you know, I'm not banking on it. So we'll see. I feel like I might finish this today. I'm feeling optimistic. So I did finish Addie LaRue, and you will see me talk about that in a second. But I am, like, I'm kind of obsessed to the point where I might have to order a copy of the book for myself so that I can reread it and annotate it. And I'm also going through Reddit and YouTube. Like, I'm watching Katie Coulson's video from 3 years ago where she read the book, and I'm just like, that's me. Also, y'all ever tried these before? Left Hand peanut butter milk stout. If you haven't, you're missing out. I'm telling you right now. Good evening. Are you here to join? Well, I did it. I finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I finished this book in 2 days, which is pretty impressive because I think this is like almost 500 pages long. 442 pages. I'm so glad I finally read this. I don't know what the fuck took me so long, but this was 5 stars. I mean, duh. This was so good. I already am getting that feeling, like, even when I was finished it, I was getting the feeling of, I want to read a book exactly like this. What other books can I read that are going to make me feel the way that I felt reading this book? It just was so well written, and V.E. Schwab's writing style is very, like, it's got a lot of oomph to it. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of depth. Sometimes she, like, repeats phrases, and I know people might not always like that, but it worked so well for, like, what was going on in the book. And this is actually my first V.E. Schwab book that I've ever read, so I'm now definitely, like, interested to read some more of her stuff. I'm just not really in a fantasy mood lately, so, you know. What else? The ending, I really liked the ending. I thought it had just the right amount of tragedy, just the right amount of happy ending, just the right amount of little bit of suspense going on, because you don't, like, I don't know, it's one of those endings where, you know, you end off and you kind of wonder what ends up happening, even though we have, like, wrapped up the story as we've seen it. I just thought it was so good. The only thing that I wish it had a little bit more of was, like, seeing Addie in other cities, because, like, we saw her in a few. We saw her in Venice, we saw her in Florence, we saw her in New Orleans and New York and France. But, like, she had to have visited more cities than that for living 300 years, right? I don't know. That was, like, my only little thing. Like, I thought that we were gonna see her be Addie in different areas, and, like, Luke's following her around, and they have this relationship and this, like, sparring match going on. But that's not what happened. But it's okay, because I think the way that it is enough. And I'm really happy I read this, and I would call this video successful. Well, you've been here this whole time, but we're just gonna, you know, recap. Twisted Love was 2 stars. I honestly am not thinking about it much. It It was entertaining at the time, but not worth it overall. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was pretty fun. Like, I had a really fun time reading it. I have been thinking about it a little bit. I might go on with the series. We'll see. Beach Read was great. I really liked it. I love Emily Henry's writing, and I'm looking forward to reading her other books. And I wanted a little bit more beach, okay? But maybe if I read it while I was at the beach, that would have, you know, wrapped it up a little bit nicer for me. And then we finished it off with a 5-star with this banger, and I could not be happier. Honestly, like, it went really well. I had a 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, and I know myself pretty well because I kind of ordered the books in that way for that purpose. But anyway, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you for going on this journey with me. I had a fun time filming and reading these books and probably editing for you. Give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I would love to do this video again someday. I'm sure there's a lot of TikTok books out there I haven't read. There are a lot that I have at this point, but you know, with books like Beach Read, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I guess Twisted Love, those are like some pretty quintessential BookTok books that I'm glad I have under my belt now. So from me and Miss Addie, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much for being here. I'd love to see you next time.